everyone. How you doing? How's your lunch going? It's Geo Ropert here with Leader to Leader, brought to you by LEAD Brevard, Brevard County's Leadership Development and Community Leadership Deployment Organization. Hope you're having a great day, albeit a rainy one out there today. I'm telling you what, I woke up and I, again, went back to the old, can I build an ark fast enough with everything coming down today? But it's been crazy. But hey, you know what? Perfect day to stay in, kind of get some focus done and get ready for the good things that are coming our way. I hope you've been having a great week so far. And we're just continuing to enjoy this show. It's been really great having so many leaders from our community on. And it humbles me because these folks are the ones that really, they're the engine. You know, we have so many great people in our community that work hard at the jobs, and then they take time and time and time out of their schedules with families and other commitments to still commit themselves to our community. And for that, I can't thank them enough. And my guest today is one of those folks. I'll introduce him in just a minute. I wanted to let you know, though, that Leader to Leader comes to you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12:15 p.m. live on LEAD Brevard's Facebook page, or if you're catching it anytime now, later as the replay goes, please do. We want you to enjoy this, and if you are one of our leaders from Leadership Brevard graduates, please, if you're interested in being on a show, let us know. You can contact Kristen Bakke over at LEAD Brevard, or send an email to kristen@leadbrevard.org, and we can slide you into the show. We've got dates coming up later in June and July, and plan on keeping the show going for as long as you'll have us. And the reason that this was all put together was that during this time, especially, we've had such a crazy time, you know, let's all admit it. We've had to make some big changes. We've had to change and shift our styles, not only at work, but what we're doing in our communities. And so how are we using and adapting our leadership styles to this current time? And how are we going to, I think, kind of adapt as we go forward too? There's going to be a lot of different scenarios, if you will, as we gradually open up the economy and our jobs and businesses again. So stick around for it. And like I said, we bring you some insights, hopefully some helpful hints, and a little bit of fun too. And especially when I've got a guest like this joining me, this is one of, you know, when somebody's coming on and you just start looking forward to having them there, because they're a good friend, they're a great community partner. They're somebody, you know, that when you see them, you just know that that's them. They're bigger than life. Milo Zonka, thank you very much for joining me today, buddy. I'm glad to have you.
Happy to be here, Gio. Happy to be here. You're pretty good at this. That was a good introduction. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You know, I practiced a little bit. Some time on the air when I was a little bit younger. So hopefully it's not too rusty. But yeah, Milo, I was thinking about this before we got on today, and I said, you know, for a while there was four of us, I think, that were really kind of the voices of the nonprofit community special events.
Yes. Yes.
It was you, it was Sheriff Ivy, Greg Pallone from Channel 13 Spectrum, and then I would bring up the rear. And, you know, we were always, it seemed like one of us, and if one of us was on stage, the other one was probably sitting in the audience.
Pretty much. Yeah. It was certainly an illustrious group to be part of. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, it was almost like you were there as backup, you know? So
just in case. If Sheriff goes down, I'll just jump in and finish that auction. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, Milo, it's great to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for being here. Milo is a 2004 LEAD Brevard graduate. He is currently the Real Estate and Development Manager for Shelter Aviation, formerly LEAD Brevard Board of Directors, and a lot of other great things. Milo, again, share a little bit about your background, kind of where you've been throughout the last few years. People know you from everywhere, and so you're in a new position now recently. So
I am. It's actually what's old is new again. I started in aviation, you know, out of college back in the 90s on the airline side and the operations side. Got into financial services, did that for years, had my own firm. Ultimately sold that. Still do dabble a little bit on the side, but got into government relations. Somewhere between that, I also became a city councilman, got involved in all sorts of political scenes and learned a lot from that. Got my butt kicked a few times from that too. And worked in government relations after that for a couple of years with waste management. And then after that, for about 7 years, I was the CFO for Dana Blickley in the property appraiser's office, which was a kind of a career leap for me, but an excellent one, just a great team and a great learning experience. But and about a year ago, I came back to aviation. So back in the private sector, working for a real estate developer, and always looking for new opportunities to learn and to grow. And this is a great one, so I'm pretty excited about it.
Good for you. Really, really happy for you that you made that. I know that was kind of something that's in your blood, and you really kind of live it, and you can see it in you. You're a happy guy.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Where you like to be. So, and the scary part is I remember all those positions you've been in.
Stalker.
That shows you how far back we go.
We do back to what was that Brevard tomorrow back in the day. I mean, that's where I met you and many others. Yeah.
Yeah, we really we had a good time. We've always had a good time. So, hey, Milo, we're here talking about leadership, and you have had the opportunity to lead in several different capacities and ways. Mm-hmm. Share a little bit about your leadership style, what you think the traits of a leader are, and kind of your core, if you will.
I think certainly everybody has their own style, and there's a plethora of them. My style has been more or less what I like to call benevolent dictatorship. My intentions are good, but we need to keep the clock going, and the trains need to run on time. So I do drive pretty hard, and probably my biggest challenge and what I've had to learn through politics and work experience is to, if you're leading a crowd and you're too far ahead, then you're not leading the crowd anymore. So you have to keep people with you on your team and keep them pulling ahead with you. So that's where that benevolent dictatorship style can work against me a little bit, but that that's everybody has their own, and I charge pretty hard, and laugh hard, work hard, party hard, all those things, but that's the style, for better or worse.
I think for better, got you to where you are today. So
it does.
Hey, share a little bit about your experience at LEAD Brevard. Or Leadership Brevard, I should say. It's everybody has what I think is a commonality, but everybody has their unique take on it.
For me, it was a jumpstart experience. I mean, I had just moved. I'd gone to college in Brevard at FIT back in the 90s, and I came back in 2003 with family in tow, and was kind of starting as an adult now. And somehow very quickly I've learned about LEAD Brevard, learned about the class and the opportunities, the networking and the community leadership type learning opportunities. And I jumped into the class, paid for it myself, and really for me it was it probably took 5 years of learning about the community and compressed it down into the core of that class. And it was a good class. I mean, really a great group of people. I don't know how classes do introductions now, but back in my day, we had to sing a song about one other person in our class. And the person I had to sing a song about was somebody who had their thumb on that red button at the 45th Space Wing that would blow up a rocket if it went off track. So try to sing Jimmy Buffett. It's their own damn fault to the person who can blow up a rocket.
Oh my goodness.
So, but for me, it really was. It jump started. I mean, those are things you can't forget 15 years later, and it really helped me learn a lot about Brevard and learn a lot about some core people that I could build off of.
That's great. Hey, and if you could please, you've had such a great career and you've had so many things happen. Does anything come to mind, like a time when you really had to put your leadership skills to the test to get through something, either a precarious situation or something that happened maybe back in government days, or that you really just had to put it all out there?
I was involved in government back in 07 to 2010, and that was the Great Recession, and trying to very quickly adapt to the moment, and it was a traumatic experience, and so you're trying to help lead the community through explanation. What's going on, what's happening in the city, what's happening in the private sector. What those impacts are on the community, what you can and can't do at this point, and still try to maintain a vision for we're going to get out of this and what comes next, and are we ready to take advantage of it? So, I mean, for all their warts, governments are really good for planning. And so it was very good to still have an eye on the ball for what's going to come next. And that's probably my biggest takeaway is, no matter where you are in the tsunami and in the whirlwind and whatever, all the chaos around you, you have to keep the long view. You have to be able to you have to adapt, but
Sure.
Adapt in a way that you can stay ultimately and get back on your course where you need to be. maybe that chaos changes your course. But you have to continue to take that long view, even in the moment as you're reacting. That was my biggest takeaway from the Great Recession, from the government side, and certainly it's been that now in spades as we're really, now working in the private sector. You have to continue to see that as you get through this, and it is a challenge. And in aviation, right now has been traumatically affected, as well as many other industries. But you still have to look at the long view and say we still have someplace we know we want to be as a company at 5-10 years from now, and what are we doing now to prepare for that?
Yeah, and that's that's really, you kind of went into the next question I was going to ask you, because that's truly is, you've had to make some big adaptations, not through just one recession, but hey, welcome to another one.
Yeah.
So, and personally, I mean, what kind of was your situation? Did you have to end up working from home, or are you back and forth? What are you?
Yeah, I worked the last couple. Worked a couple of weeks as we were declining still at the office and trying to get ready for whatever was going to come next. But then we closed our offices down. We still my company has locations at airports, and those were all still open, using social distancing and masks and all the requirements, the cleaning that were out there. But I ended up working from home for about a month, and then still now today, we're kind of in and out of the offices, trying to keep that cohesion. So I mean, Teams now, I think we're all Teams meetings experts and Zoom meeting experts. I mean, I know every viewer wants to know right now, is Geo wearing pants? Because that is the beauty of the workday. Thank you, Zoom. That sports shorts are now work apparel.
One of the
That's
things,
part of the adaptation.
One of the things that I should have learned probably a month ago was wear pants that are the waistline that you want to keep.
Oh, I moved in the middle of all this, and somewhere in the moving and all this, I lost my belts. And so I went and I ordered, I love these belts, the particular model and all those things. So I bought the same belts, but of course, yes, we're wearing shorts and t-shirts and all this for a month. And finally I go to work again and I go to put the belts on and the damn things don't fit. I mean, clearly they changed the design since the last iteration that I bought. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But that's the challenge.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm not really kidding. It's like, because we do, I mean, honestly, and we've shared that with other guests too. It's, hey, you're here as much as you were tried to work out before the gyms reopen and everything else, or try to just have some kind of activity. Everybody says, oh yeah, go out and do this or do that. And you go, hey, it just didn't work. And there's no amount that will replace your everyday walking, moving.
And it's traumatic for me because I was so svelte going into all this. So to be like this now is really just kind of a shocker.
Well, we all were. And, where did it go or come from? I don't know, because I don't think I changed my diet much. Maybe an extra pizza or 2 or 10, but yeah.
Certainly no ice cream involved. No,
none involved. So, hey, Milo, as we wrap it up here, this has been great. Like I said, when we get together, always a good time. Some advice for those that are stressing right now, maybe having some challenges, working with their teams, or seeing into the future and how they're going to do. Give us your wisdom.
Stay focused on what's in your area of control. I mean, I'm one of those folks that lays awake at night worrying about, all those things that either you can or can't control. But through the years, the Serenity Prayer has been a big friend of mine, and it really reminds me, the things you can control and the things you can't. Focus on the things you can and try to influence the things you can't, but really keep your worldview. Keep realistic about what you can control and control it and do your very best and put your effort in the right place and again, you want to try to shape and steer the future around you, but at least make sure that what you're taking care of what's in your backyard and what you can get done. That to me, and in the course of all this, I mean, it's very frustrating looking at the news, and it's scary looking at the news, and you get concerned about what today's challenges are and what could happen tomorrow. And you have to be ready for it. You have to be open to what it can do to impact your life. But I think ultimately you have to worry about what you can control. And that gives you some strength and some confidence. And kind of the ability to move forward without losing your damn mind. And that's all we can do.
That's exactly it. Make it through every 24 and hope to do it again, and just hold on to what hold on to what's sacred and what is important, and
Yep.
let some things take care of themselves. So that's profound, Milo, and I thank you very much. I appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much.
Hey, my pleasure. It's good to see you,
Sharing a
bud.
few minutes with us, and always a good time to catch in. I don't know I'm trying to catch up and get the Milo look there.
You got to get the gray spot right there.
Oh,
if
it's
you really
there.
want to go, you got to get the gray spot. I mean, that's unfortunately become the signature feature.
Well, when it first started growing in, I'm like, wow, this is pretty blonde.
Yeah, no.
No, it's not. It's not.
Sorry, buddy.
I think I may become a Just for Men's friend.
The first time we met, maybe it was blonde. Now, not so much.
Yeah,
We're mature gentlemen now.
Yes, we are. Yes, very mature.
Yes, and gentlemen.
There you go. Exactly. Well, hey, a great time with you, Milo. Thank
Good
you
to
so
see you.
much, and we will see you soon as soon as
All
they
right,
let us out of here. So
Take
we'll talk to
take
you
care,
then.
pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, Milo Zonka from Shelter Aviation and from many other places. You know him. Great guy to know and a great friend. I really appreciate the opportunity that I've had to get to know him. Hey, hopefully you'll join us tomorrow and Thursday and keep coming back for more. If you're interested in getting a little visibility, why don't you think about sponsoring Leader to Leader? We have a package set up for you. You can contact Kristen Bakke, the president and CEO over at LEAD Brevard. Call Kristen at 321-632-8222 or visit leadbrevard.org and get the contact info there. Send them an email. They'll be happy to do that, and we would love to have your name splattered all over the place. In fact, splattered everywhere. It'll be back here. It'll be over there. I'll get a tattoo if I have to. Right there. And
Geo's chest.
Exactly.
It's brought to you by.
Right there, yeah. Again, back to the gym many times before that happened. So anyhow, but we've had a great time here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Geo Ropert from Ropert and Partners Public Relations and Marketing Communications. If you ever need our help, you can find us at ropertandpartners.com. And then don't forget leadbrevard.org for all of your Leadership Brevard wants, needs, everything that you could possibly want for leadership development. Milo, again, thank you, my friend.
Take care,
Have a
bud.
great day. We'll
You
see
too.
everybody later.
Bye, everybody.